Well, for more on this, Christopher Chambers, journalism professor at Georgetown University, joins us now. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you. Good to be back.
So the judge in this Google case is not buying that Google is complying and disclosing who the company paid for favorable coverage. What do you think Google is hiding?
It's hard to say. I mean, this is utterly beyond the pale. This whole thing is just unprecedented. I mean, usually when a judge orders not the reporters, it's a different thing, but orders the parties to disclose who your allies and your shills are, it's because there's been some outward evidence of jury tampering or something like this. There's been a jury verdict in the copyright and the patent actions. This is after the smoke is cleared and this judge is doing this. It's utterly unprecedented. So there must be I mean, I do believe in the where there's smoke there's fire thing, and because Oracle, who had lost, who was the plaintiff, had one or two people that they said they had dangling, there must have been something. There must have been some tip-off in camera, as they say in Latin, to the judge that something was going on here, or he just looked and saw, article upon article, blog post upon blog post, lining up, in Google's favor, and said, there's got to be something going on here. Plainly, there must be something going on here, because they haven't advanced a constitutional argument against the order. They're just saying, oh, we don't pay anybody, and so I don't think this judge is either a moron or crazy. So there's fire there somewhere.
Right, and the implications of this are significant, because I mean, Google is massive. Everybody uses Google to search for news, to search for anything.
Yeah, and that's how they responded to the order. They basically sent a list saying, well, everybody uses Google, especially Google advertising. What do you want us to say? And, whereas Oracle, boom, now maybe, I don't know, internally, again, they lost the case. They took a big hit. It was almost a slam dunk, it was a slam dunk on the patent action, almost on the copyright for Google. Maybe Oracle figured it didn't have anything to lose. But again, I mean, they disclosed fairly quickly. Google is basically saying, well, there's nobody. There's either nobody or it's everybody in the universe. And that's a ridiculous answer. And again, they haven't advanced any constitutional argument saying, you can't order us to do this. So there's got to be something going on here. And it's something that people need to pay attention to, despite all the political noise and everything and all these other issues going on in the world. I mean, this is something that we all do use, and we need to really prick our ears up and see what's going on here.
Now, looking at the bigger picture, I mean, to what extent, this is just one example, a very significant example, to what extent are journalists, commentators, bloggers paid to report on a certain issue in a certain way?
Well, I mean, there's shilling for money, which is what he's going after, and that, which is not really that far off on the end of the spectrum. And then there's commentary and punditry. I mean, it might be something that I do. I'm not getting, gold bricks, in the mail from RT. But, there are instances, even going back before, say, the golden age of news sites and Breitbart and blogging, melding with TV news, going back into the 80s and 90s, where in the Bush administration, some generals who had been retired and put forward as pundits for the Pentagon were there, shilling for the first Iraq war. And and then weapons of mass destruction for the second one. You had commentators, Fox commentators, a number of them, who were on the administration payroll under George W. Bush, shilling for certain items. So that does happen. The problem is now it's hard to trace. I mean, how do you get if somebody's paying you through a news outlet to be a pundit, I mean, where is the news outlet's money coming from? If I work for CNN or MSNBC or Fox as a paid commentator, or a reporter hosting a show, what is their point of view, and where does their corporate money come from? I mean, so it goes through a lot of filters. Plainly, this judge is saying there aren't any filters here. I have evidence possibly that Google, maybe through an intermediary, got these people on the hook somehow. And, in this nebulous world where who is a reporter? Is a blogger a reporter? Is a tech blogger a tech reporter? They're operating in this weird kind of muck that we haven't explored yet. So they basically figured we can do what we want. So nobody, I don't think anybody gave anybody a check, but there might be something there.
And that's exactly it, with, media becoming more digitized and all these rapid technological advancements. I mean,
Right.
we're seeing consumers have more choices than ever before, which seems like a good thing to have all these choices. But on the flip side, how do you know which outlets you're turning to are accurate, or if some of these reports are misleading, or if there is a conflict of interest contributing
Exactly.
to the source?
Exactly. And, and here, again, I mean, you have a situation where, again, it's not that clear-cut, usual situation where the reporters, and, and again, as a blogger or reporter, are being subpoenaed or subject to these court orders. It's the parties to a suit that's been solved. I mean, there's been a dispositive jury verdict. So, I mean, this being so unprecedented, I have to say, though, I'm not as scared about what the judge is doing, because maybe it's almost like Chief Justice Roberts in the, Obamacare case. I mean, maybe this guy is doing something for the public good, and maybe he's trying to strike some kind of blow for not having these huge corporations have these paid shills influencing, tipping the scales either way. But again, this is Oracle, which is huge, versus Google, which is huge. It's like Godzilla versus whatever monster. They don't really get hurt. It's us scrambling around at their feet that gets squashed. And so, we need to, pay attention to this regardless.
All right. Lastly, quickly, just want to ask you, amid all of this, what is a viewer or a news consumer to do?
Well, with this, hit as many outlets as possible outside of your echo chamber, your usual comfort zone, and have a varied diet, because you're not going to get it directly from TV or a site, et cetera. And you can't even trust the search engines, because they are, like Google, they are a machine in and of themselves, as is Twitter. So I mean, that's the problem.
All right, Chris, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank
As
you.
always, that was Christopher Chambers, journalism professor at Georgetown University.